Hey everybody, it's your host Eric Brown of NRE The Wrestleverse. YEET! Yep. And what could honestly be a surprising moment for wrestling, for me at least. Yeah, I got the dynamite diamond ring. Jey Uso shocked the world, eliminating John Cena at the Royal Rumble to win the 2025 Royal Rumble match for the men's division. And when I saw this, I didn't watch the show. Let me just be clear about that. I did not watch the show. The lawsuit came out, the amended lawsuit came out with all the evidence. So there's that conundrum that we have to deal with now. But beyond that, I heard what happened at the Rumble, and better luck next year, CM Punk, because, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE's risking it now with Punk, because it's been 2 years now, and now they're just like, well, we got what we need out of Punk, I think. Punk wants to main event WrestleMania, and he got injured at the last Royal Rumble. Okay, sucks, but that was an injury. There was no way to prevent that. I don't think it could have been prevented in the match, but, it depends. This is a risky sport. And then he not only loses the match again for the Rumble to get to WrestleMania, when everyone thought he was going to win, because there's also that whole big favor Roman Reigns is being given that CM Punk demanded from the wise man. And now we have this conundrum where he gets eliminated by the transphobic, crypto scamming, child exploitation of marketing purposes, mold delivering Logan Paul. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be helpful for anyone. Heck, if I was told I was getting eliminated by the bigoted asshole who doesn't understand humanity's comprehensions and has no human empathy whatsoever, I would probably be pissed. Like Drew McIntyre reportedly was when he stormed out of the arena because of stuff that went on in the Rumble, and apparently it was not because of Logan Paul, even though that would have been a good guess. Instead, it might have been because of LA Knight, but I don't know yet. And plus, ever since WWE started calling out more and more of the dirt sheets and the journalists and the people who, have had some connections with WWE, like calling out Fightful, even though Fightful has basically been WWE's PR marketing machine to announce when we're firing people. So, dick move? Look, if they wanted to feed false stories in order to generate hype, fine. But if you're going to call them out for stuff that you fed, even though you're already dealing with a huge amount of stuff. And I refused to watch the Men's Royal Rumble because they were going to have Logan Paul in the match. Unfortunately, I was hoping he was gone, or facing a lawsuit, or just arrested. I am still in my denial phase that this is secretly a sting operation meant to gather as much evidence as possible so they can formally place an arrest on him. That's probably a pipe dream, but still. But the thing is, Logan Paul pisses me off. And then they put IShow's Speed in the Rumble. Now, let me be clear, I never watched his content, but I heard the stories and I saw clips at best of his content. And his jokes towards women when they talk about being the last people on Earth and they say they don't want to reproduce with him, and he just says, "Who's gonna stop me?" like he's some scathing edgelord, makes me just go, wow, WWE, you decide to give that guy promotion when you're dealing with a massive lawsuit involving Janelle Grant and what she went through. Props on good timing, considering that you had to have known the lawsuit was going to come out. The amended lawsuit was coming out. You had to have been informed ahead of time, and you still went with it. So clearly, there's a problem here. But enough about my conspiracy rhetoric talk about my immense hatred for the regime that WWE operates under, and my wish to have it completely dismantled so we can get something better and more cleaned, and have it all cleaned up, which is a pipe dream, I bet. Or at least I'm not advocating for the death of an entire company, unlike some people who advocate for the death of a company because they put out a show they don't like. And yes, that's where we're at now. But since we need to get this introduction out of the way, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. When I heard that, I was like, wait. Jey Uso, no. If you told me 5 years ago even, when Jey Uso was getting his push and you told me he was gonna win the Royal Rumble and end up main eventing WrestleMania, potentially with the world champ, I was gonna be like, you're crazy. Like, I know he's getting this big push with Roman, but this is just to further Roman's heel turn. Not, like, actually give him the main event push that so many people believe he deserves or has rightfully earned after so many years. He's an Uso. He's the twin. And Jimmy's still Jimmy. And Jimmy's Uso was injured at the time, so that was probably the biggest thing that ever happened to Jay's career. But, moving on from that, with this whole development, was he the right choice? Now, people were under the belief that it was gonna go to Cena, CM Punk, or maybe even Roman Reigns, and I'm not interested in having Roman Reigns main event WrestleMania for the 8th time in a row, because that's what it feels like at this point. He's probably main evented more times than any of the NRE family, which says a lot. But yeah. So Jey is also now the 4th member of the legendary NRE family to go ahead and win the Royal Rumble. So props to the NRE family for their continued dominance in wrestling. And this also throws out my prediction of what I was hoping would happen at the Royal Rumble. Jacob Fatu eliminating Roman Reigns to kickstart a one-match feud that I had pitched in my fantasy book plans for this video I'm working on. It's currently halfway done, so if you see this video and you see the Jacob Fatu part, yeah, there's a discrepancy there, and that throws my plans out of whack, or at least that portion of it. But as that goes on, there's now the increasing development of Jey Uso's ascension. And when I look at it, after 5 years of this story of the Bloodline, it kind of makes sense. The Bloodline storyline is currently on hold for now. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more developments later on when Solo Sikoa gets out of his funk and Jacob Fatu's ascension continues to rise. I get the feeling we're going to get Jimmy and Jey Uso having their big moments eventually. I like they had a match and it failed miserably for many. In fact, it felt like... Here's the thing. The way I think people were describing it is it's like Triple H knows what the Young Bucks wrestle like, but he doesn't really get why people love the Young Bucks when they do it, and they think it's just super kicks when there's a lot more acrobatics involved instead of just super kicking all day. If we wanted to see super kicking all day, we just do the Dolph Ziggler stuff. Don't worry, Nick Nemeth. You're a great man. In fact, you've been doing a hell of a lot of a good job after leaving WWE. Let's be real, you've been way overdue. But I get the feeling that that's like their idea of what the Young Bucks were and not really what the Young Bucks are that makes them so popular to people, at least until the CM Punk debacle happened. Oh, how I wish that worked out. But, yeah. Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble is I feel like it was the right choice. It was a surprising choice. It made a lot of sense. And plus, this is kind of continuing off of the storyline from 2023, where, Jey Uso was fighting the Bloodline Civil War, trying to prove he's Roman's equal. That's kind of the story they're going for, and it could actually, and if they do what I think they're gonna do, this could actually fix a lot of the stuff people hated about Jimmy Uso's portrayal of Jey Uso and that whole drama and the nonsense that happened from it. But it depends on how good they take this. So Jey Uso won the Rumble. He's going to go on to take on the world champion, probably Volta. Sucks that he's probably going to lose at WrestleMania if they go forward with this, in my theoretical talk. I kind of want Volta to win, but I get the feeling this is to try and really paint that Jey could be Roman's equal, to continue showing that he's not the same guy we saw 5 years ago getting his ass kicked all the time by Roman Reigns for 5 years straight, or being Roman's subordinate. it's going to lead to a lot of interesting tension if he does fight Walter and wins. I'm still calling him Walter. I refuse to call him Gunther because, look, it's just the foundation that his name change was because Vince McMahon and the WWE management were either not believing Google or they just don't care about the implications. And with everything going on in the real world right now, that's making it more pronounced and more problematic for me to call him Gunther. God damn it, Elon Musk. Anyways, enough about my viewpoints on global politics. If I ever make a podcast about that, I'll probably do it in our NRE universe, not wrestling. We have enough wrestling politics going on already with Game of Thrones style levels of insanity, except Round Dragons. But, yeah, as this continues to develop, Jey winning the Royal Rumble, I feel like was the right choice. He was a good choice for the pick. It was a surprise. It was unexpected. And the fact that they're really pushing him now, making him pay his due, giving him his dues after over 10 years being in that company, being a tag team wrestler, being called the Uso, part of the Usos, and always being told compared to Jimmy and Jey. Now you can compare the two and see the massive differences, especially the hair design. Also, I got myself a haircut. I just need to segue into that a little bit. Oh man, but Jey, I feel, has a lot of potential to be the world champ, and he really can do a lot of storytelling opportunities if he does. Personally, I would kind of like it if he dethroned Cody and not have Walter lose the title. I feel like Walter deserves a 500-day reign at best, because damn it, Walter is goddamn awesome, and he has rightfully earned that championship. Oh man. Plus, there's still some matches left to tell with him, I feel like. Like, I can still see CM Punk versus Walter down the road, and I would love to see that. Though, if they do that, I don't want him to fight Logan unless it involves Walter murdering Logan on live television, where Logan goes ahead, bounces around, acting like he's in charge, and then Walter just places his massive hand on his shoulder and says, "Do you feel in charge?" As I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, KSI, and Jake Paul just walk away like, yeah, I'm not gonna go through that, bro. Good luck with that. You can blame the Matrix later for that. And it leads to a massive chop fest where his skull gets cracked open. Yes, I am a sick, demented fuck. Anyways. But Jey defeating either Walter or Cody could lead to interesting angles they could take this as the world champ. I get the feeling this is also going to try and see if they could slowly tease the idea that he might go heel, becoming more, because not only is he becoming an equal to Roman Reigns, he's becoming more like Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, because the cycle of abuse doesn't just stop. It doesn't stop when Roman's acting all nice and all that. It doesn't really make up for 5 years of torment and misery. So there's kind of that whole psychological stuff they can go with. And this would ultimately justify Jimmy Uso's betrayal and finally make sense of it, because he proved that he was right, that if he hits the world title, Jey's going to turn into Roman, and we're going to deal with this whole drama all over again, except not as long. And it might lead to another match between Jey and Jimmy, who they have admitted that, yeah, our WrestleMania match sucked. It should have been more. And I definitely agree with that. I feel like they could have done a great match. It's just that, like I said this earlier, it feels like Triple H watched the Young Bucks but didn't really get the Young Bucks, why everyone loves them, but when they try to copy that formula, they don't really get why that formula worked for the Young Bucks, whereas it didn't work for the Usos. Honestly, I feel like I feel like they should do a violent feud to justify the sibling rivalry and the destruction of the NOI family. Because, like I said, I feel like all roads lead to Fatu, the great tribal god, the Kaiser of sorts, the future Kaiser of the bloodline, the Kaiser of the NOI family, the tribal god in the making. Yes, this is also a promotional piece. Just it's just a perspective I have on this whole thing. But with Jey now being in this big position and people accepting him, like this is the organic, this is like, and Roman, I don't know what's going to happen to all these participants who we thought were going to have a chance at winning. Cena's going to be at the Elimination Chamber because he declared it, therefore that makes sense in his eyes. But Roman, CM Punk, and Seth, that's an interesting angle to go with that. But especially after Seth curb stomped him onto the matted floor and then started brawling with Punk, which means probably triple threat match at WrestleMania. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, like, it will still piss me off because it's like, oh damn, we never got that Shield triple threat match at Mania, and it'll make me cry. But at the same time, all Vince had to do was respect Jon Moxley and let him have more creative freedom and not make heavy accusations of saying, look, pal, we both know you're not going to leave. Damn it, we both know you're just extorting us for money. Which is like, even I know I'm not a negotiator, and even I know that was fucking stupid, Vince. Like, that's really how you're going to start this off, and he just leaves. But, yeah. Jey, I'm really happy for you, man. Like, YEET and all that. It's going to be an exciting time. I feel like it's going to be a very exciting time to see how Jey Uso handles the more main event scene with this kind of push. Main event Jey being fully fulfilled and all that. Because this isn't like a fight on Raw or a fight on on a special pay-per-view event or PLE as they're called, or even a special show. No, this is WrestleMania. That means you need to bring your, not just your A game, you need to bring your S game level to your promo abilities, bring your S tier talent, because this is going to be a big deal. If he fails at this, I don't know how this is going to work out. I feel like he can do it. I definitely believe in him. Like, I was in the trenches with Roman on his side. I was like, look, I don't like how Vince handles him, but it's not Roman's fault. In fact, I'm pretty certain Roman's going to prove everybody wrong one day. One day, I don't care how long it takes, he's going to end up back in the promised land. He's going to get cheered as a face. He's going to be loved as a face. And my loyalty was forever justified this last month. Oh god, I almost said last year because my god, January felt like a year. Damn. But yeah, Jey, you got big mighty shoes to fill, not just for the bloodline, not for Roman, but not just for the NRE family, but to prove to everyone you're more than just the YEET guy or the Uso. Oh, you are Jey fucking Uso. And we're all gonna hopefully yeet at WrestleMania. Yeet. When this is all over, with him winning one of the world titles. And then I remember that there are technically 3 world titles, is that Cody is still the undisputed champion. Oh man. This is so complicated, isn't it? But we'll see where everything goes from here. I am certainly going to be excited as best I can, unless Triple H continues to piss me off with his media conferences, especially when he decides to talk about how there were over 70,000 people coming to the show. And then the graphics department uploads this image of 65,000 and makes me go, holy crap, someone is so fired for this. And they don't talk about the lawsuit because I think, I'm like, okay, well, on the one hand, it pisses me off that the people there didn't question Triple H about that. And if I had to guess, they probably weren't allowed to. The other reason is because I get the feeling even they know Triple H is going to just fuck up. Because he's making Tony Khan look reputable. Which is saying a lot. Because Tony Khan has had his errors with press conferences, and yet he hasn't faced an accusation like this, except for the Jericho situation that was retracted, but that's a different, completely messed up story. But enough about my conspiracies and my thoughts on press conferences. This is Jey's moment. I just need to get this whole stuff I had about WrestleMania and Wrestleverse stuff and some news about this kind of stuff. I could have talked about this in Overtime Wrestling, but I'm trying to get everything sorted out on that. But we'll see y'all again next time. This is your host of Eric Brown, NRE Wrestleverse. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see y'all again next time. Peace and take care. And Jay, good luck, man. You're gonna need it. You're gonna steal it, man. I have faith in you. I had faith in Roman. I'm gonna have faith in you. You proved everyone. You proved your ascension 5 years ago. Let's see if you can complete that journey. Let's see if you can finish the story.